So welcome everybody at our Salesforce Marketing Cloud Community Group meeting. This time we have a very exciting topic, actually as exciting as all the others. This time we are going to focus on MuleSoft and its integration with Marketing Cloud. So we haven't covered this topic yet. My name is Maciej Tekowicz. I'm leading the local group. I'm also open to any of your suggestions on what topics should be covered in the future. Also regarding the place of the meeting, as currently we are meeting online, but I'm really missing in-person meetings. So if you have any suggestions for the topics that we could cover in person, that would be great. Today with us, we have Igor and Juan, both coming from MuleSoft. I will give them a chance to present themselves, but just wanted to highlight that they are going to present the topic of MuleSoft and Marketing Cloud integration for the next 1 hour. I've already saw the content and it looks really great, so can't wait to present it today. But before we move on, I would like to also promote the next meeting. So in a month time, the 24th of May, we would have next session. It would be about Marketing Cloud and Service Cloud synergies, where we will have Timo Kowala presenting this topic. So I highly encourage you to join it. And now I will stop this auto promotion, stop sharing the screen, and give the mic to the guys. So please take over the screen.
Perfect. Juan, do you want to share your screen?
I'm just on it. There you are.
Perfect. Okay. Good morning, everyone, also from our side. So my name is Igor Babic. I'm the MuleSoft account executive responsible for our business activities in Poland and Baltics. I have here with me Juan. Maybe Juan, you can also say a few words about you.
Yeah, my pleasure. My name is Juan Cabrera, Spanish, and I'm one of the members of the team in solution engineering in MuleSoft that are currently occupied in, well, not only with your country, but many are in the area in the East and as well in the Middle East. I'm a MuleSoft expert, not so much Marketing Cloud. So maybe if you have questions along the presentation that are about Marketing Cloud itself, then I can help to find the right person, maybe if they're really, really deep. But it will be my pleasure to help you out with deep questions about MuleSoft, what it is, and how it works.
Great. Can you go to the next slide?
Sure.
So from the agenda point of view, so we will present to you the MuleSoft capabilities around Marketing Cloud integration. So we are already part of the Salesforce ecosystem for 5 years, even slightly more, and have built up integration capabilities for all Salesforce cloud solutions. But in focus of this session here will be the capabilities for Marketing Cloud. And then we will wrap up the session with closing and the call to action. But if you have any questions in the meantime, please feel free to raise your hand. Next slide. So before we dive into the topic itself, I just want to give you some more context about MuleSoft and what is our role in the overall Salesforce ecosystem. As I said, so we are the integration and automation solution component. So we provide connectivity for all Salesforce cloud solutions like Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Commerce Cloud, and whatever we have in our portfolio. But we are not only limited to the integration around Salesforce. We have many customers who come to us and want to integrate maybe their, I don't know, SAP ERP system with some other data sources where Salesforce doesn't play any role. So we can also help to solve any integration challenges in an organization. Next one. So our value proposition is simple. So on the one hand, we help customers to really become faster. So we have a lot of connectors out of the box available for the most systems, Salesforce, SAP, Microsoft, you name it. So from our benchmark reports, we see that customers who adopted MuleSoft have become 2 to 3 times faster in their integration and implementation work. And on the other hand, we help customers also to reduce the costs for integration significantly. Again, our benchmark shows here a number of around 70%. So this comes because we help customers not only to build APIs for the purpose of integration, but also to reuse them. You probably have a customer has maybe many projects where an integration to Marketing Cloud is required or to other data sources. And instead of building it from project to project again and again, it can help to reuse the build integrations, the build APIs to reduce the costs and again, to become faster. Because if you don't need to build again from scratch, but you can reuse, you also become faster. And this is basically the 2 value propositions that we have here. So, okay, without further ado, I would give the word to Juan to rock the show.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Igor. So, as we said, we're going to speak about the different areas that we could where we could see an impact of MuleSoft towards Marketing Cloud. And in order to do that, we are going to provide you first with a little bit of context. And so why we should be thinking about engaging MuleSoft in a Marketing Cloud scenario. So the thing is to build customer relationships, which is one of our main goals when we are engaging marketing in general. So we have to make every moment count. And this means that we have to take into consideration that relationships in the end are built out of those moments. They are kind of a collection of those moments. And they are going in the end to build up together to make up our experience with our brand. But the world is changing continuously. And now we have data privacy changes, tighter budgets, headcount shortages, real-time expectations that are, well, sometimes not so realistic. And the experience customers want in the end, it has really evolved. So this is why we have to prioritize trust and try to make experiences with our customers as human and enjoyable as possible, and try to get this emotional connection with them. But if we ask our marketing leaders if they are satisfied with their ability to create such experiences, the answer is that they really aren't. And we have many reasons why that is so. But one of the main ones is the huge amount of silos and places where we have our data. And if we want to become customer first, then first we have to become data first. And such a strategy is normally centered around one point where we are going to offer our marketing, but that requires all those satellites that have the information that we will need. So our data is kind of coming in from all over the place, and it needs to evolve so that we can paint a complete picture of each individual and so that we can act on that. But the reality is that most brands are just working with static data, and they're just struggling to unify it. And it's not only a problem we find in marketing, but as well with commerce, service, and really beyond. So we really want to get this single source of truth. The thing is, the data is really there. So this we all agree in this, but it's really hard to get to it. And the more complex our scenario gets, the more systems we have, then the more challenges we will have to face. And this means that all these data points are going to be scattered in different systems. And even if we have advanced really a lot in the way that we are offering them and we are collecting it, and then anyway, so they're being connected like in real time, social networks, web browsers, another kind of customer activity, and they are updated constantly and they're stored, and in many cases without kind of a standardized structure that we can leverage then later on to have a unified model. And this is where Salesforce and MuleSoft jump in to address this challenge. how do we become data first? So what we wish to do in MuleSoft is to be the fuel for the customer 360, which I'm pretty sure that you've heard about before. So this is how we put customers in the center of everything that we do. And we wish to build this single source of truth across all our customer experiences. This is what we are here today, and what we would like to, why we're here today, and what we would like to discuss together with you. I think we are going to move now to the different areas that we have, where we can have an impact using MuleSoft towards Marketing Cloud. So the first one is in marketing engagement, which I'm pretty sure that you're very familiar with, because it's one of your main battle horses. And the first thing that we notice once we have MuleSoft in our ecosystem with Marketing Cloud is that we can personalize our journeys. We can make them smarter. Why? Because suddenly we can start triggering events in real time. Our events, they can be turned into a much more complex kind of event. So they are not just some small piece of data or pulse that we're getting, but instead they become rich data structures and rich data and business processes that we can configure and that we can leverage. Being able to provide transactional notifications, but in let's say with a much higher frequency in real time, change our activities, and take smarter decisions in our journeys using custom splits. So those are the main points that we are going to find. And for example, in order to get into triggering, so how do we trigger our journeys for Marketing Cloud? So MuleSoft has more than 400 connectors that we can use to detect and publish legacy system events. So wherever that event should come from, we are ready to take it, and we are ready to use it to enhance the way that we are triggering our journeys. For example, so let's think about this little scenario where we have Natalia, and she has arrived to her favorite hotel to start her vacation. She's an extremely loyal customer. So it's not the first time, as I say, that she's here. And just after the check-in, she starts getting offers and recommendations and hints about how she should enhance her experience in our hotel. How would that work? So she would arrive to the hotel, and probably even if she's connected before, we can even leverage her connection to the Wi-Fi that we have inside the hotel. But there could be 1,000 different events that we can think of. For example, a flow that gets triggered just when she checks in the reception. And then she will get notifications according to our marketing purposes and with our schedule, maybe even depending on her activity inside the hotel for on-site products and promotions. And hopefully this will bring to an increased revenue in our hotel. So this is a very simple example of how being able to engage custom triggers can enhance our marketing activity and to bring it into a real user experience. We can bring this approach as well to transactional notifications. So being able to use transactions that are coming from our backend, which normally are completely inaccessible for us, and then use them to launch our flows and to extract information from them, our journeys, in real time. And that will all go through MuleSoft, for example. If you've ever taken a look at how a journey works and so on, then you will realize soon enough that activities and splits, so that they're great, but they could use some enrichment. And MuleSoft can step into both kinds of components inside journeys to enrich them, to make them more powerful in the sense that we can get information and business processes out of external services that normally we wouldn't get access to. And this means smarter decisions. And smarter decisions, in the end, will reflect on a much more powerful journey, marketing journey, inside our business operations. So, providing you with a small summary of it. So we could, for example, trigger transactional emails that would get sent, for example, from backend systems in real time, and we could as well, as another use case that we could leverage, we could trigger an event journey from a real-time interaction, as we said. So when somebody arrives to a hotel, we are actually going to see later on a demo where we are using this philosophy as well. Or let's think of somebody stepping into a bar or pushing a button. So the limits are kind of through the roof. So we shouldn't think about the limits there, but instead of we should just engage our creativity there. And as well, so we can think very quickly about use cases towards bringing custom decisions in our splits, in our journeys, and being able to retrieve mobile data. For example, the consumption of that data of a particular customer to make smarter decisions in the way that we are going to send information to that particular customer if we were a telco. Let me put it in a different way. So how or why should we start thinking about MuleSoft when we are in an engagement scenario, when we are talking about marketing engagement? Well, first thing, if our customers are requiring messaging that is going to happen in real time instead of in minutes, or if we have engagement channels that are not supported by Journey Builder, or if we are going to trigger our journeys from events that are happening in backends or systems that are legacy, or like really difficult to access systems that are not supported directly by Marketing Cloud. And for me, this is the most important one. When we wish to take decisions that are more complex in nature that we would normally be able to have in Marketing Cloud and base them in data that normally is not in Marketing Cloud itself, or maybe it's even forbidden or not possible to send because of the frequency that we would be needing to send that data. So if we have any of those scenarios, then we should immediately start thinking about a technology like MuleSoft, because it's going to add a lot, really a lot of value. Let me talk now about loyalty and how MuleSoft can provide value as well there. So normally when we are talking about loyalty, we're thinking about rewards, about vouchers, about the members of our subscriptions, and how we are going to manage them, how we're going to manage the benefits that they get, and as well how we're going to measure them and the analytics that we're going to apply to them. And in the end, there are so many tasks around applying proper loyalty management that eventually we're going to realize that we need automatization in the 21st century. And because it's just like normal operations are just like the start, but we need to be working together with our channels, with our partners, and normally they have their own systems, and those systems are heterogeneous in nature. Not only many, but they are very different. And this means that eventually we are going to start thinking about, okay, how do I bring this information into Salesforce? Is this going to take me into some kind of a dependency in terms of data? So maybe it will arrive late, or I will not be able to process it properly or in time, or I'm going to create a very complex structure that then later on is going to be very difficult to maintain, and so on. And overall, in the vast majority of cases, we will run into orchestration issues where we need to coordinate different systems in order to provide all the information that we need. So this is the reason why this is not so easy. It's because those operations then are not atomic, and this is why they require orchestration. So they have dependencies between them, especially when we're talking about engaging different partners. And we could, as I said, we could start doing it ourselves. We definitely can. We can get Apex, for example, we can get a good coda and start getting all those integrations built from scratch using code. But then if we see the implications of that, and we realize that, first of all, how long is it going to take to build that from scratch? Then how performant is it going to be? And how easy is it going to be to measure that performance and to figure out how we're going to solve problems in case they arise? And as well, all the limitations that Apex shows in terms of how we are going to connect with different systems. So it's really here that the Mule can shine, and it's one of the main reasons why MuleSoft is engaged in marketing cloud scenarios as well, is to be able to overcome the different limitations that come by using a code yourself, do it yourself approach using Apex or any other technology. To become, once again, the fuel. So in this particular case, what we wish to tackle is all these siloed strategy that we have all over in our loyalty management scenarios, where all those loyalty strategies are led by marketing, but they need to be a company-wide initiative. And this takes normally us into a disparate data scenario. And you will know as well that will imply, in many cases, data cleansing, the duplications. So there are more than a few challenges that are going to come on our desk in order to create such a consistent member experience as we would like to provide. Another main advantage of using MuleSoft is that we will start engaging the way that our partners, we will start changing the way our partners are going to work with us. MuleSoft allows you to build a portal such as this, such as the one that you're seeing, where you are going to have all the information needed to be able to interact with you. So the goal is to centralize your documentation in a single portal so that any third party that should work with you doesn't need to start bothering you with and showering you with questions of, okay, how do I operate with your loyalty program? And these portals are built in a very easy way. The vast majority of this documentation is actually generated by design automatically. So this will mean as well that you're going to save a lot of time in one of the main aspects that we have in MuleSoft, because in MuleSoft, we believe that it's not enough to build an integration. People need to be able to use it, and to use it properly, to discover, know that it is there, and then engage it into their business operations as soon as possible. And this is why these portals are so important. Let me show you as well how it would look like once we start using MuleSoft. I'm not sure if many of you know exactly how MuleSoft operates and what is our philosophy in terms of how we build our architectures for integration. So let me take 1-2 minutes and explain it to you. So normally we have a collection of systems that we wish to integrate, where we have the data. In this case, you see here Salesforce. You have here an Oracle Hospitality instance. Then you have a SAP. And each one of them speaks their own language. So much you know. And imagine that we are building a mobile application that is going to be our channel. And it needs information out of all those three systems in order to create our final loyalty management flow. So how would MuleSoft step in? So instead, we could build a connection directly from our mobile application directly to each one of those systems. But this is not how we operate. We know that that's a trap. That's what we call a point-to-point integration. in technical terms. And what it leads is to a huge lack of reusability. This is why we build networks such as this, and we build them in layers. So the first layer is the system layer. And those are, those are kind of Rosetta Stones. They know how to speak with different systems. Like, for example, we have an invoicing system layer here because we have our invoices in SAP, and it knows how to speak to SAP. It knows the language, but it doesn't know when or what it should do. This comes from the layer on top, which is the process layer. Those are the pilots. Those are the bosses in a way. They know why we are doing things. They know what we should do. So here's where we will have our aggregations, our data cleansing, our transformations, orchestration, everything is built there. So you can see that they are coordinating different system layers, system layer APIs here underneath. And then last, we have the experience layer, which is going to offer the result of what we have done to the final channel. It knows the language of the channel and it's going to translate it, yes, but as well, it's going to be the guardian of the door. So it will make sure as well that only whoever is allowed to connect with this will attain access, and it will as well know under which terms those connections are allowed. So you can see it's kind of a microservices approach that we follow inside MuleSoft, and it provides a huge reusability and a huge capacity to enhance the way that we are developing our integrations and the way that we are operating them. On top of that, so we have our capabilities as well that we can add we can add to marketing, because sometimes it is required to run something that is heavier, that cannot be run in real time. And this is why we need to process it offline. And we have lots of capabilities in this department to provide you, for example, with batch processing that you can use and you can leverage then later on to provide the final result to Marketing Cloud. So as we said, we can use this to ingest transaction data in a much better way. We could, for example, redeem our points externally into some other partners and then communicate with them and maybe start a coordination with them, or even speed up our loyalty programs, because we will not need to understand each other's APIs. They will have the documentation directly, and we can, in those portals we just saw, and we can just start using them to coordinate in a much more effective way. So think about this example, for instance, so that and then later on from the perspective of a customer and the way that we will contact this person. And in this case, we have a customer of Commodus Bank, which we are going to use in demo. And he has as well a rewards card that is going to get him really nice discounts and so on. And the way that we would work with MuleSoft is he could arrive to one of his favorite restaurants. And then once he pays, he gets immediately rewards points and a message inside his phone. So he will know that he's been awarded that prize has been awarded, that he got that reward just because he went to the restaurant. And all that should happen in a seamless and an automatic way. So in this case, I'm not going to provide you with a list. I'm going to give you a decision tree so you know when we should be thinking about using MuleSoft. So if we need integration with third parties, then definitely MuleSoft and the Anypoint platform is should be one of our factors, should be in our equation to build our Marketing Cloud deployment. And in such a case, especially if we need a self-service experience from our partners with those portals. If we need we are in a real-time scenario to provide ingestion and upgrades, then we should think about MuleSoft as well. And not only that, but as well, if there are other systems that we need to communicate with, or where we have data we need to ingest beyond Salesforce, and that maybe they are difficult to reach, then the more we have, the more we should be thinking about an integration solution. So this is why MuleSoft will really apply to that case. And I have one last field for you, which is data cloud. I hope that you've heard about it. I'm going to introduce it very quickly. And in the end, Salesforce Data Cloud is our CDP, our customer data platform. And it is built around expanding the notion of trust. So we want to help customers to solve these thorny governance and privacy management problems that we can have at the infrastructure layer. So we want to ensure that they are complying with increasing data regulations. So, and it really goes beyond marketing. So Data Cloud is there to help us redefine the terms of success for our experience delivery, and that means to be able to go beyond this marketing, empowering our leaders to drive personalized experiences. So in sales, service, commerce, so you can really name it. And MuleSoft fits in the whole flow of Data Cloud in the first stage, where we are gathering the data and we have to connect with different systems, and as well when we are in the engage phase, when we are providing experiences, and then we need to automate with those channels that are going to provide that experience. And here we can normally leverage Composer, RPA even, and of course the main AnyPoint platform that we have in MuleSoft. So in terms of ingestion, so our goal is that you can get any data that you will need, and that you can consume it, so that you can provision this resolved customer data across Salesforce to any cloud. And we can use, as we said, we can use all the connectors that we have at our disposal in MuleSoft. As I said, more than 400. And we can deliver this data ingestion activation at a scale, which is one of the main aspects of Data Cloud, and not only for Salesforce endpoints, but as well to a broader ecosystem. One of the connectors that I would like to speak specifically is the CDP connector, the Data Cloud connector that we have in MuleSoft, and which is extremely powerful and is going to allow us to send these data immediately into Data Cloud. So once we have extracted it from any of our data sources. But as well, so we will see it. So we have more material than just a connector. We have even accelerators. We will take a look at it later on. And these data can come, as I said, from pretty much anywhere that we can think of. And we have, in general, what we have experienced is that customers that are using MuleSoft, they experience up to 3 times faster integration development, and exactly as Igor meant in the beginning of this webinar. So we are hoping then to be able to activate data to any cloud and any application. And as we said, in scale. And if you remember, knowing that we can engage as well batch processing and enrichment processes that will put not only together all the data that we have gathered across all our systems, but as well that can apply different operations that we can need in order to enrich that data, automatic operations that we would need, for example, to run data cleansing on them, or to add pieces of data, or to build additional knowledge out of the data that we already have. And this will turn them into insights, which represents our ability to leverage Einstein to make our data smarter, to deliver models and scoring that is going to make every interaction more relevant. In the end, the smarter we become, the better the data we get, the better then later on our engage phase is going to be. And this is going to make our marketing cloud so much powerful in the end. In terms of how we're going to offer them into the world, we have even support with webhooks, and we could run operations such as think about a user that is sending a feedback via Twitter because they didn't have a good experience, but it looks like it's actually a non-constructive critic, and then we can get it in Social Studio and start analyzing it and saying, so, okay, so in this particular case, this is a valuable piece of feedback, and we should be leveraging it inside our teams, or maybe we should contact that person and offer compensation for what happened, or pretty much whatever we would need. So maybe we could contact a team that doesn't have Salesforce inside the organization via MuleSoft, so they can analyze this information, and they could even call customer then later on if we think that could be something interesting. As I said, we not only have a connector in terms of Data Cloud, we have an accelerator. An accelerator is the connector together with a number of templates and examples that are pre-built examples that we can just import in our MuleSoft ecosystem, deploy them. It will work out of the box. And of course, we have to configure it, saying, okay, these are my credentials, for example, for Snowflake or for Salesforce, SAP, whatever, and leverage it directly. Normally, you should as well change it, update it a little bit, so with your current scenario. But in many cases, it saves hundreds of hours in terms of development because we provide such a wonderful head start for all these scenarios. And I already meant this, so I'm not going to stop here for so long. So here it is important as well to be able to apply batch processing, because in many cases, the amount of data that we need to process for these operations in the case of the data cloud then normally takes us into a larger than memory data set. And then it is important to be able to process that data correctly and then push it into data cloud. We will see it in the demo, so how then later on it looks like in data cloud. So this is my decision tree for this area. So if we have all connectors, does CDP have all connectors that we need already? In case it doesn't, then we should be thinking about MuleSoft. And if we have any requirement for external activation other than CDP supported channels, then once again, MuleSoft. Or if there is real-time scenarios that are outside Salesforce, then it would happen the same. Or if there are any external applications for users that require data cloud, like for example, Query API, so then we should start thinking about MuleSoft as well. Let me install, because I think I'm talking too much, just trying to present you all the different areas where we have value with MuleSoft. So let me show it to you with a scenario, with a little story. And in our story, we are going to be talking about Cumulus Bank, which is a retail bank located in America. And I'm going to introduce Joanna to you. She is a very loyal customer of Cumulus Bank, and she goes once in a while, so from time to time, to her local branch. And she likes to have this kind of personal touch when she goes there. And so far, she has had a very good customer experience. And her account manager there inside Cumulus Bank is Luis. He is one of actually the top 5 account managers that we have inside there. So he's always very busy. He has lots of customers. He's very demanded. And this is why we have decided to build a better communication journey, because we want to make our customers happier. How would that look like? So think about this. So Joanna goes to her local branch. She goes to reception, and then immediately she gets this message in her phone. So okay, we just notify your account manager, And so please wait here, and he will pick you up. And then depending if he's available or not, because it may very well be that he is not available, then maybe he's not there, maybe he's on holidays. Then she will get this message, okay, we will assign you a new one only for today, and sorry, but he is not available. Or maybe he's busy with another customer. So while waiting, let's invite you to a cup of coffee, and we'll come back to you in 15 minutes. This is a philosophy that we can apply with pretty much every business that we have in this world that is that has to serve customers. And how would this look like? So we would have a journey like this. And in this particular case, I have marked here with an M the places where MuleSoft was involved. And here you can see that we were working with a real-time decision. In this case, we're taking into consideration in order to trigger this. We are taking into consideration so when somebody joins our local Wi-Fi, or maybe would enter a code inside a machine to get their turn inside the local reception, and this will trigger this custom event, and we will have here a real-time decision depending on the calendar of that account manager. And if that account manager is free, then okay, we will just proceed with the message. If not, then we will have to decide if that person is on holidays or is not available for good, or if we can wait. And maybe if we are waiting for too long, then we can notify another account manager to handle it. So this would be an example of a journey that we could build with MuleSoft to tackle this situation. And from the side of the account manager, we'll find this. We'll find a notification saying, okay, Luis, your client has arrived. So she's waiting for you at the reception. Then please go pick her up. And what happens then in this moment is, okay, Joanna finally meets Luis. And she has found that she has a little bit of money extra to invest. So then she decides to get this investment fund, and that they have currently running, and Luis helps her out with it. So they sign it. And what happens in this scenario is that then once she gets that, and Luis enters all the information in the banking system, then this is going to the mainframe, which is a very difficult to reach system. And we have built inside Data Cloud, we have built here a data point where we are going to get through this ingestion API, we're going to get the information out of that mainframe to enhance the way that we are scoring Joanna. And we can take a look very quickly all the different options that we will have. So you can see here that we have lots of different connectors here that we can use thanks to MuleSoft inside Data Cloud. We could take a look at how this is Anypoint Exchange. I will give you the address later on if you want to take a look at it. This is the whole list. It's like an app store with all the different connectors and assets that we have out of the box for you when you are using MuleSoft. And you can use this to take a look and say, okay, what do we have for Data Cloud? And it will show you, for example, that we have a wonderful connector, but as well we have a number of templates and accelerators for it. So, and then you can click on the connector and get the information directly, the documentation about how we should use our CDP connector. And let me go back very quickly to our Data Cloud. And now that she has got her investment fund already contracted. So what Luis will see here, so we have here this activity, and her score has increased. And our journey hasn't ended here. So you saw that we had this information that came in, and now her score has changed thanks to all the information that is coming from the mainframe. And now we see, okay, we have to reward her because this is a very good score. So this is going to trigger now a third-party integration using MuleSoft. And this is going to contact, for example, one of the main hotel chains that she loves. It's actually running in Spain. And she will get immediately, thanks to that integration, this third-party integration, she will get an email saying, okay, we would like to offer you this gift voucher, so you can go there with your significant other to get this one free night. So what we got today is we're using MuleSoft, so we were able to inform Joanna about our agent's availability in real time, and we didn't need to code a single line. And then later on, we could consume the information from her activity inside the bank to figure out that she is entitled to a reward. And then we connected through a third-party integration to a different company, to a different organization, a partner of ours, that is going to give her a gift, a reward for her activity with us. So now, what I would like to provide as well to end is a little call to action in the time that we have left. And first of all, so I would like to remark the importance of the accelerators that we have in MuleSoft, because they're going to allow you to speed up the process so much. And if you're curious about all the different assets that we have, especially the ones about Salesforce, please visit MuleSoft.com/exchange, and you will be able to access this app store that I just told you about, where you will be able to see, okay, does this fit with my scenario or not? And if you're looking for training or information about MuleSoft, your place to go is training.mulesoft.com. So here you're going to find a lot of free resources to get you started. And hopefully this will provide you as well with all the information that you need to start your journey with us. There is a little bit of information as well that Igor wanted to provide you as well, about the MuleSoft packaging. Maybe Igor, do you want to step in?
Sure, thank you. So maybe also one remark on the previous slide with regards to training. So we have on our website, training.mulesoft.com, like Juan said, free trainings. So you can jump on a self-paced free training and learn more about MuleSoft, the platform. And now coming back to the package, what we actually offer. So there is an entry point for MuleSoft, which is called Anypoint Base Platform. So this is a pre-configured package. There is 2 integration capacities included for building integrations and managing APIs. And customers who want more, because they want to integrate more and more systems and applications, they can buy add-ons with a classical pay-as-you-go model and buy additional integration capacity or to manage additional APIs. But again, here in this conversation, it's not like we want to convince of an adopting of MuleSoft as a new integration platform for any customer. We can give a license grant and restrict it to marketing cloud integration purposes only. So it's not like, so we push for a new integration platform, but hey, dear customer, if you want to use it only in conjunction with marketing cloud integration to become faster with the implementation, to integrate third-party sources, to have it on a lower cost basis, then we can give you those licenses for that. So it's difficult, to now drop a price point, because it always depends on the use case, on many different, let's say, input parameters. But you just need to know that we can give you the licenses scope restricted for marketing cloud integration only. So we have only 5 minutes left. So I want also to give some space to ask some questions, or to maybe to agree on any follow-ups. We're here for you. So MuleSoft has now started from last year to expand into Poland and in other markets in that region. So we are very happy to collaborate and to educate you and to find joint opportunities where customer maybe has already marketing cloud, but he's interested to integrate new third-party systems. So we can definitely jump together with you and on that opportunity and support you and the customer as well.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Juan and Igor. We have some participants on the call. All of them are unmuted, so if you have any questions, let's use those couple of minutes that we still have to address them. Any questions from the audience? If not, I will ask some. So if you could clarify maybe for people who are certified and trained in a marketing cloud, they are familiar with trailheads. Now, can they log into training.mulesoft.com using their existing credentials, or they need to register once again? And are there any specific certifications that you believe Salesforce Marketing Cloud practitioners could take to understand better MuleSoft?
Okay, so they are separate systems. So you would need to register separately in training.mulesoft.com. And if I were to start, then I would first take there is a very comprehensive course, and which is a self-paced course that gives you already, it's a small, let's say, certificate once you finish it. And it's not something that you do in a proctored scenario, so you just get it because you finished it. And this is going to provide you with a beachhead on the MuleSoft world. Then later on, if you want, let's say, a proper professional certification to start with, then I suggest a MuleSoft developer certification. And you get all the information as well inside the same portal, and you get the material as well to study if you would like to do it on your own, or you can as well enroll in one of those classes that where you have an instructor, and will assist you with the process to get a certification on your belt.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Rafał, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, for me, the most exciting part was custom decision splits and custom channels in Journey Builder. Could you expand on how we could build that? Or what are the possibilities here?
Well, pretty much whatever you would decide to build in terms of logic. If you remember the whole, if you remember the architecture slide that I showed you, then you could create a process in the process layer with a very complex, so you could engage pretty much, I don't know, 1,000 systems if you so needed it, to orchestrate them and aggregate all that information, and then finally get a result, and then decide this is going to take you in one direction or another. That even in some cases you could even turn it into fuzzy logic or into any other kind of ways of taking decisions that are more difficult to attain without you getting a middleware that is going to help you solve it. But overall, the main advantage of using MuleSoft in these scenarios would be the reusability. So you wouldn't be needing to rebuild it every time that you wish to engage such smart decision in any of your journeys, or something that is similar, but with slight changes. You would leverage the network that you have already built in MuleSoft, reuse 90–95% of what you have built, and maybe add small part for what you need in that particular case, and then leverage it into another journey. So it's really, the answer, it's really powerful.
Okay, how would one start if I wanted to create such an activity? What would be the first step, let's say? Basically to get this block working inside of a journey. So
what you will need to do is you will need to register your Anypoint account in Marketing Cloud. So there is a configuration to be done, and then you can leverage then a MuleSoft APIs to gather that information. It's actually a pretty straightforward process. It's once you have the MuleSoft API, and then you can just drink from the result of that operation in order to, and then just use it in that custom split.
Okay, I think I'll start taking that. So thank you.
Thank you, Rafał. You always have great questions. Anybody else? If not, I guess we are on time. It's 11 already. So thank you very much, Igor and Juan, for the presentation. Thank you, everybody, for participating in this meeting. I will publish the recording shortly, and see you on the next event, and also hopefully talk to you at some MuleSoft and Marketing Cloud related opportunities. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye-bye.